Mountains. Welcome to another video, and today we're going to talk about how does George Lucas feel about the new Star Wars. Sorry if you can't see my entire face. Nemo almost saw me. They've been like getting up to go on my bed to film this. To be nice to my little night, so hope you guys understand. So in this video, like I said, we're going to talk about how the creator of Star Wars feels about the Disney Star Wars. And long story short, he's not really a fan of the new Star Wars. Cause when he was selling Star Wars, and this can be confirmed, if you wanted the articles to be read, Geeks and Gamers is a really good source, and Star Wars Theory is a really good source in terms of like videos if you want the articles to be read. Cause I just watched both. And pretty much in the video it said that, long story short, George Lucas feels betrayed because he gave them an overall story arc for the sequel trilogy. And I guess Bob Iger made it appear that they were going to go with his story arc, which from what we've seen is from like the new trilogy, we haven't gotten like the George Lucas version of the sequel trilogy, which I kind of figured that by The Last Jedi. And yeah, George Lucas isn't too happy about it. He made it no secret. I mean, they can't really do anything to George Lucas because he is the creator. What you're gonna do? Sue the guy who you bought like a company from, who created the movie series that you've made 4 movies on, the 5th one coming out in December, and made a company that you recently bought like not too long ago, like 5 years ago. Like really? Like they technically can't really sue George Lucas, and they tried to shut Mark Hamill up, which, to be honest, was Mark Hamill and George Lucas seem to be on the same page when it comes to like at least 90% of the Star Wars stuff. So if Mark Hamill did not like what they did with his direction in The Last Jedi and did not like The Last Jedi, then there should have been then it should have dawned. I guess that should have been like hint to us fans that there could have. That probably would have been a hint that George Lucas didn't like The Last Jedi as well, or how Disney's been handling his property that well too. I mean, outside of Mark Hamill, I wouldn't doubt that there were like George Lucas gave hints that he did not like it in the public eye. It's just hasn't been confirmed until like a few hours ago. Today, as I am making this video. So I'm not surprised that George Lucas, like in general, feels like he is being betrayed because he made characters, and Disney is taking the characters what George Lucas, Mark Hamill, and some of those and the Phantom Menace did not expect Disney to take them. And I don't mean it in a positive way. It'd be kind of different if it was in a positive light, but like I feel bad for George Lucas because he created Star Wars and he gave away his baby to a company, entrusting them to build off of what he has done and to make it essentially better. Granted that I liked the Force Awakens, and I really loved Rogue One. I felt like out of the 4 Star Wars movies that we got from Disney, Rogue One felt the more the most Star Wars out of the four. Yeah, The Force Awakens could have been better, but I felt like regardless if it was to George Lucas vision or not, it was a good starter out movie. And maybe episode 8 could have been where they incorporated at least some of George Lucas's concepts for the new trilogy, sequel trilogy, and kind of try to sprinkle it with their own version at the same time. If you get what I'm saying. Maybe that could have worked, maybe not, I don't know. Same thing applies with episode 9, with what I just said about episode 8. I don't know if how much that will have worked if things were different. But I can't say I'm surprised that George Lucas feels this way. I mean, like I said, now that I look back at it, since Mark Hamill and George Lucas does have similar minds, similar tastes when it comes to the Star Wars universe, I can't be too surprised George Lucas feels the way he feels. That would, after like Mark Hamill kind of expressed his displeasure with how they decided to treat Luke Skywalker, which he refers to as Jake Skywalker. So you know he's saying something if the creator of Star Wars in this case is displeased with how they treated his baby, how they treated something that he created 42 years ago. Because 42 years ago, only like 3-4 months, that is when the first Star Wars movie came out. The original trilogy was great. It's great. The original trilogy was great. The only, the only negative, real negative thing I have to say about the original trilogy is the holiday special, which is connected to the original trilogy. That's the only negative thing I have to say about the original trilogy. Outside of that is me possibly being nitpicky about, but overall I love the original trilogy. The prequels, I have some things that I have against the prequels, but I still enjoy watching the prequels over and over again, and the story stay consistent with the original trilogy. The execution might have been off, but I still loved the concept of what George Lucas was trying to go for with the prequels. He could have done better. And he accepted the criticism. But if you get criticism from not only the fandom of that subject, but from one of the actors, and not only from one or some of the actors, but the creator himself that you bought the rights to, that should give you so many red flags, hold up, we're doing so many things wrong. And maybe this would be a really cheap way to do things, and then they will have to shift things out to get the original layout for the sequel trilogy to work with this. But maybe make a sequel trilogy to the sequel trilogy, but even then the damage would be already done. And you already killed off Luke Skywalker, which could essentially come back as a Force ghost. You killed off Han Solo. You can't really use Princess Leia unless if you use CGI, depending on how you use her. Depends on if she lives through the events of Rise of Skywalker. And there's a 50-50 chance that Chewbacca and Lando will survive the events of Rise of Skywalker. And as far as I'm aware, C-3PO is done, at least and the way we know him in terms of Anthony Daniels, because Anthony Daniels did say, if I remember correctly, that Episode 9 was going to be his last Star Wars movie. Maybe that will change, assuming that they're planning to make a sequel trilogy to the sequel trilogy. I don't know. But regardless, the damage has already been done. The Phantom Menace doesn't agree with 90% of what Disney Star Wars, like, look, Disney has taken Lucas Star, blah blah blah. The Phantom Menace doesn't agree with 90% of how Lucasfilm's been pursuing Star Wars at the moment. Mark Hamill, an actor, isn't agreeing with how Lucasfilms is handling Star Wars. And neither is George Lucas, who's not only the creator of Star Wars, but the founder of Lucasfilms, who was nice enough to give Disney his company, and they had the nerve to like fool him. Like, really? It's just, I might not exactly love the prequels as much as I love the original trilogy, but at least I can say that regardless of its flaws, the prequels were great, and George Lucas became a commander in how he reacted to the criticisms. And I don't know everything that was said behind closed doors between George Lucas and Bob Iger, which is the CEO for Disney. But if he decides to pretty much ignore everything that George Lucas has said, it's kind of like saying a big F you to George Lucas. It really is, regardless of that's what Bob Iger intended to say or not. That's pretty much, I can see how George Lucas feels like Disney is saying F you to the thing he created. Because I sure promise you, if Disney went with George Lucas's version of Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, less fans would be upset with it. And maybe they can do what they are doing with Marvel with the What Ifs, and have it where they make 3 movies, possibly going straight to DVD or the Disney streaming service. Then later on, after like a month, going to DVD. Like, what Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, or like, what if? Same with The Last Jedi, same with Episode 9. Maybe not even have it be like The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. Have it completely different, but be about George Lucas's story arc for the sequel trilogy, and see which sequel trilogy the fans likes better, and maybe have this version be CGI. That way, you can say, that way Disney, if they so desperately want to, they can, if, assuming that the What If sequel trilogy becomes more popular than the sequel trilogy that we have now, then they can say, the What Ifs canon, the What Ifs are canon, they're not legends, but they're canon. Like, still. And the best part is, if they do an idea, then they can pass it off if they so want to. Oh, this is not part of current canon. This is Legends, which also would at the same time screw them up at the same time if they went that route. But still, I just feel bad for George Lucas because he created Star Wars, one of the best things that's ever happened. he created the first 6 movies. He pretty much he was a he was like kind of like a co-creator of the Clone Wars, both movie and show, and Rebels. And the fact that it feels betrayed about how Disney's been handling Star Wars, that's heartbreaking and saddening, and that's saying a lot. Even more than when Mark Hamill spoke out. Because the fans speaking out is one thing. Having an actor speaking out against their own movie is another. It's a different level. On top of having the fans. But having the creator is a whole level of its own outside of the actors and the audience. So, and I have a feeling that this might affect how The Rise of Skywalker will perform in the movie, in the theaters. Even though I've heard that George Lucas had some things to do with The Rise of Skywalker, but still, I have a feeling that this might taint the box office numbers a bit. Probably not that much, but still a bit. And it's sad. And this should have never happened. Like, George Lucas might have been somewhat butthurt, but they should have been forward with him. Besides lying to him or misleading him. But then, so that way George Lucas could have mentally prepared for impact. That way he wouldn't exactly be as disappointed as he potentially is now. But anyways. Long story short, it sucks that not only one of the actors from Star Wars has spoke out, but the man himself who founded Lucasfilms and who created Star Wars, who made the first 6 movies of the Star Wars series, also spoke out on his, I don't want to say disgust, but his disappointment in Disney's handling against his creation, or creations if you count Star Wars as a singular platform and Lucasfilms as another. But what do you guys think about this whole news? Leave a comment down below. Are you guys surprised or are you not? Truthfully, I'm not. Anyways, may the force be with us all.